I'm recording this because the survivors no longer envy the dead. The final war is over. Its architects forever entombed in melted glass and steel. I watched the efforts of our species dance away on the radioactive wind. Civilization retreated by millennia. All of human history brought to dust. Our cities, now scorched black mausoleums, serve as a reminder. There can be no victory in war. Earth is the answer to the question of our mortality. With resolute defiance, we choose to grasp at the delicate thread of life. My son, the gift of survival is yours. Please, may you never submit. There will be more.
This is it. We are on our own. The air is clear. Welcome home. We're headed straight for oblivion, but we're gonna make it. Whatever
Herzlich willkommen zurück auf Schalke America. How we doing? It's a misery Monday. So misery, so blues filled that there's no Jack Mangan here tonight. It's just myself in misery. So sometimes it's better not to have more people to wallow in despair. But how is everyone doing, considering the weekend we just had? My goodness, it was something. It was something, all right. We got a lot to talk about tonight. No Jack Mangan tonight, as I mentioned. He's like I was a couple weeks ago. He is traveling this week, so he's out maybe doing a recruiting trip for Schalke because obviously we need massive help. So hopefully Jack can find somebody in the Western United States, but to be determined for that for sure. But let's get into the rundown for tonight. We were talking about Jack already off to kick off the show. We're gonna do a little match reaction because we have to. The game that was against Regensburg, or I don't know what you want to call that. We'll talk about the press conference after the Regensburg match. What did Keys have to say for himself and for the team? Ralph Fährmann, is he throwing some shade at Schalke? We'll see. And then look at some other reactions. Lots of reactions this weekend after that game. And then next game up is against Hamburg. Oh my goodness. Let's get into it right away. Here's the standings, current standings. It's interesting because the weekend started out well. Friday started out well, mostly because we'll get to Friday. You had Hamburg losing 4-2 to Eintracht Braunschweig. So the joke was on them, right? They're choking again. They're playing the bottom of the table of Braunschweig, and they choke away that game 4-2 at home. And obviously, Greuther Fürth and Cologne had a draw in that game too. So it's like, okay, good results, for us. And then Saturday happened, obviously. Some other results from the weekend, but we're here to talk about the disaster class that was against Regensburg, 2-0. Again, I think the press conference leading to the game was better from Van Wonderen than it was the previous week. Didn't see much difference really from the performances the week before than that. Asynchroner is in the house. Glück auf. Kurodo as well. Guten Tag, guten Abend for me, but good to see everybody in the chat as well. But yeah, the press conference was a little bit better this time before the match. Van Wonderen spoke a little bit more. Obviously, the reporters were trying to bait him with get him to answer some questions. I wanted to hear him say this is a must-win game after he failed to say it in the old match. I'm tired of seeing us get into these slow starts of the game. But that didn't much happen, did it? Looking at the starting 11 for us, not so much Regensburg, because who do they really have, honestly? Häkkinen in goal. Obviously, there's an injury with Loris Karius, and so Justin Häkkinen's guy between the sticks. Were we confident with him? Yes, no. Back four, Thailand Bullet back in the starting 11. Great to see him back in there. Hoping he's obviously a massive upgrade to Gantenbaum. Schallenberg, Kaminski, and Donkor filling out the back four. Midfield, you had Barkok getting a reward for his good performance last couple weeks. Seguin as well with Yunus, Karaman, and Aiden, and Musa Silla leading the way. No Ba in the starting 11 this week. Yeah, I thought this game was going to be an improved game, especially we're playing the worst team in the league. We're 11th place. We're trying to get into the top 10 any way we can. And my goodness, it was an atrocious game to say the least. From the onset of the game, I wanted to see us attacking, take it to Regensburg, put them down early, and then put them out of their misery and score goal after goal. What we do, we let Regensburg dictate the game. I mean, this looked like they were in the top half of the table and we were in relegation zone. I mean, they were dictating the play. We looked, as Eric in the Discord says, we looked drab. That is a perfect word to describe how we looked. Drab. I think Van Wonderen said before the game, look, this is a good team. Regensburg have won. They had 18 of their 19 points this season they got at home or something to that mark. And so they're tough at home. Yes, they're the worst placed team, but they're hungry. They don't want to be relegated. And they're a tough outfit to play against. So it's going to be a difficult game. But come on, like they're bottom of the table. We are mid-table. We should handle them. But we never do we? And so we let them dictate the game. It really did. In 21st minute, they get a corner opportunity and they score. Ball goes into the box. Justin Heckering goes to clear it. A really, really poor clearance by him. Gives it right to the Regensburg player who just slots it past away. Basically empty net. 1-0 there. Not at all how we wanted to start. Again, why do we start so slow all the time? You would think we would have learned better by now. We haven't learned since the Gerard's time for a long time, really. But the one thing we were hoping under Van Vonderen is that discipline-wise, we'd be better and more stout, not giving up those first goals, not making us play from a hole. But here we are, 21 minutes in, 1-0 already to Regensburg. Goal scorer there by Christian Kuhlwetter. Poor play all the way around. No defensive marking by the defenders. Poor clearance attempt by Van Vonderen. Might as well have been Van Vonderen, right? By Heckeren. And then nobody helped him out after the fact. So it was just poor play all the way around. And then moments later, like right off that kickoff, Kuroda, I see your comment, and I will get to that because I have an interesting point on that. But a minute right after the kickoff, we get the ball back, and what do Regensburg do? Smartly go after a wounded animal. They start pressing us like crazy, and we make a stupid turnover. Heckering gives it away yet again, and they nearly scored in an empty net. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I keep trying to defend Justin Heckeren, and he's got talent. But what did Jack and I talk about? Like, when Karius joined the club, it's like, what we don't want to see is the situation we had with Ralph Fairman and Alexander Nubel, where all of a sudden you're creating unnecessary pressure on the goalkeepers and they start making mistakes more than they need to. Ralph Fairman had the yips at that time, and then Alexander Nubel was inserted in, and neither goalkeeper is playing well. And that was our biggest fear. It's like, look, bringing Karius to help the team, great. But now all of a sudden, when he came in, Heckeren got nerves about him. We know about what Karius and his nerves as well. And so now you got this situation where it seems like everybody's got the yips. And Heckeren, 2 bad plays within seconds of each other. And then luckily, around the 30th minute mark or so, we started getting into the game more. It was still very much a Regensburg type game. But yeah. Asynchronous says 10 players in the box, but this guy has so much time and space, impossible. Exactly. Like how? How does defensively? It was poor, piss poor. That's not even talking about what Heckeren did. The defense is poor. And then the 45th minute, finally we got it seemed like we got a play right before halftime. Karaman does really well to control the ball, beats the defender, finds Aiden wide. He puts a shot on goal. Looks like, okay, we got some opportunity here. And the hope is, at least like halftime, have a talk with the boys, come back out and play much better. We didn't have that. We didn't have that at all. It was the same crap in the second half. We couldn't do anything offensive. We had more chances than the first half, but it was pretty pathetic. Fairly even game. I would say the advantage goes to Regensburg, but we did not look good at all. We looked like a relegation team, and then they got a stoppage time winner in the 93rd minute. Horrible there. And we lose the game 2-0. 2-0. Pathetic. Looking at the stats in this game, shots 12-10, but like our shots are meaningless. Look at the targets. 6 of them on target for Regensburg. 6 for the last place team. We had 1 shot on target, and that was an ident shot at the end of the first half. Like, really? Like, what are we doing? Possession 72-28, and that was inflated like a motherfucker. Like, Regensburg were the better team in the first half, possession-wise, everything-wise. And then, they just sat back and let us say, hey, try to beat us. They weren't going to say that you can't beat us. So they just sat back and let Schalke have the ball, and Schalke did nothing with it offensively. Kuroda says, the way we can see the 2 goals is pretty embarrassing. Absolutely. It was pathetic. It was disaster all the way around. Statistics are just like, blah, blah. And it just infuriating to watch. I say we title this disaster, and obviously Van Vonderen is going to get a lot of the blame, but should he? Like, I think what he's been saying in this and methodology he's trying to impose, I think it's okay, but the players are just not doing it. And the only time they seem to be playing is when our captain makes an emphatic speech before the game, and then all of a sudden we start playing. I don't understand this. Is there a statistic on how many missed passes we played? There might be. Here, let's check this. Get out of the press conference here. Let's see here. Pass accuracy. I mean, we were 77%. We were more accurate than they were. 498 passes total, but didn't say how many completions. I mean, you got to do the math there. And I would imagine we missed 100 passes or so, right? Or maybe, yeah, I probably missed 100 passes or so. Regensburg probably missed just as much as us. Probably, no, they probably missed less than us for sure. We missed a lot of passes, no doubt about it. I got to look in the other statistics about it's a little bit more deep dives and that kind of stuff. But like, it was terrible. It was a terrible game. It was embarrassing, as Kuroto said. Where was the fire? Where was the hunger? It wasn't there. This was a performance that questions everything, right? And what did the one thing Van Vonderen did say, or maybe didn't say in the press conference before the game, they kept asking him, how's he feel with Baumann now in charge, right? Does he feel like he's going to have a job next year? And he kind of like avoided the question, as you would imagine. He's like, look, I got a contract here. You know, we have good conversations, but like the back of your mind, new man's coming in. You're going to have pressure now. And if you don't perform, if the team doesn't want you to perform, 0.02. Wow. X goals in the first half, 0.02. Yeah, that 0.02 is I then shot from a distance. That might have been the whole game like that, right? But going back to my point is like, you know, the back of Fairman, going back to Van Vonderen's head, like any bad performance, especially if the team's not playing how you want them to, maybe they don't want you there, it's going to be amplified now with the new man in charge because he's watching this and like, maybe you're not the guy for us, you know? The trend says we've been doing well under Van Vonderen, especially the last 12, 13 games, but you got performances like this that makes you question everything. Makes you question the goalkeeper, makes you question the players themselves. It was pretty pathetic. Asynchronous says, it was clear what happened. See Carmen's reaction after the match. He is fed up by the team's performance. He wants to leave. Yeah, no. And that's the image they showed on Schalke's Twitter was him just like, fed up. Maybe I'll find it later, but yeah, it's just like they gave up. They didn't try. And it was completely embarrassing stuff. And we're still in 11th place. It seems like we're comfortable. The joke I always make is the teams in mid-table at this time of the year, they're on vacation mode, right? Schalke shouldn't be on vacation mode. We haven't reached 40 points yet. Van Vonderen's goal has been reach 40 points, so we're safe, and then we can experiment. This would have been the game to do it, because we have a gauntlet coming up. We have top of the table Hamburg coming up. And yeah, we got lucky. We had a really good run of form at the end of the first half of the season, but like, can we do it? Can we do it again? We just got embarrassed by the last place team in the league. The team is going to get relegated to the Dritte Liga, and we're going to expect to beat the top teams in the league. I don't know. It's hard to believe. Going back to Kororo's question, where was that question there? How would you predict the next game against Hamburg on Saturday? It's funny. Hamburg obviously had an embarrassing defeat. They're going to be fired up, right? Or is this the choking time of the year like it annually is for Hamburg, right? This would be an epic collapse if they didn't get promoted this year. But the one thing I can say about the Schalke team is against the bottom teams in the league, we are ass. We're terrible, horrible. But against the top of the table, we're actually remarkably pretty good. And so, in a very Schalke way, it would not surprise me if we pulled out a win against Hamburg because that's what we've been doing. At least we did in the first half. And as the teams are at the top of the table, we play very well. And the teams at the bottom, we play to their level. It's just like that's how we've been doing it. And it's so it would not be surprising to me. I expect us to have a much better performance. But I am worried that Hamburg did lose, and now they're going to be fired up about that. So we shall see. It's going to be an interesting game. I agree. This game was important for Keys, and they played against them. 100%. This game was fireable. Fireable in the eyes of Baumann, I would think. Lots of people online are questioning Kees van Wonderen right now, right? People are longing for Karel Gerards. Bring back Fimpel. Bring somebody else in. It's absolutely, I think asynchronous 100% correct. And Baumann's coming in here, fresh set of eyes. Prove to me that you belong here, and then he puts up a stinker like this, back-to-back weeks. Oh, that wasn't a great of a game. We got the result by luck. And then go to Regensburg and blow it. And this season we've been better on the road than at home, and then put up a stinker like that on the road. Pathetic. So it's a fireable offense. I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but it's a fireable loss there. It's a horrible loss. The team absolutely was against him, as you guys are saying in the chat. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. Instead of sounding like a broken record, I kind of want to hear what Kees van Wonderen has to say. Top of the table before winter break are now gone. Yeah, it's true. So let's hear what Kees van Wonderen has to say for himself. Got the English subtitles for those who don't speak German, and off we go.
Nach dem 29. Spieltag der SSV in Regensburg gewinnt heute Nachmittag mit 2:0 gegen den FC Schalke 04 im ausverkauften Jahnstadion Regensburg vor 15.210 Zuschauern. Ich begrüße die Journalisten in der Runde und die beiden Cheftrainer auf dem Podium. Zu meiner Linken der Cheftrainer des SSV Jahn, Andi Patz, und zu meiner Rechten der Cheftrainer des FC Schalke 04, Kees van Wonderen. Und das erste Wort gebührt wie immer den Gästen. Herr Wonderen, Ihr Statement zur Partie bitte.
Ja, wir fangen dann immer an mit, was man immer sagt. Gratuliere zu Andreas, gratuliere zu Regensburg mit der Sieg. Für uns, ich kann es kurz halten heute, war ein sehr enttäuschender Tag, ein enttäuschendes Spiel.
Did I freeze? I froze the screen here. Man, what am I doing here? Try this again, huh? Where is this? There we go. Try that again.
Und wir haben es mit alle, der beteiligt sind, heute zu wenig geleistet.
I want to see this. What's going on here? What's going on? What's going on here, Richard? See, no Jack here. I'm just like, don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on here. Let me figure this out real quick. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Better. Apologize, folks. Van Wonderen's got me so upset that they're doing this. So.
Ihr Statement zur Partie bitte.
Ja, wir fangen dann immer an mit, was man immer sagt. Gratuliere zu Andreas, gratuliere zu Regensburg mit der Sieg. Für uns, ich kann es kurz halten heute, war ein sehr enttäuschender Tag, ein enttäuschendes Spiel. Und wir haben es mit alle, der beteiligt sind, heute zu wenig geleistet. So, wir können allen davor in den Spiegel schauen, dass das zu wenig war, um in und auf Regensburg einen Erfolg zu holen.
We need a
Mercer's
training
got me.
manual for the new hires.
Mercer's got me.
ASAP.
I mean, so far, nothing. Just looks defeated. He looks
Dankeschön.
defeated.
Dankeschön. Dann, Andi, dein Statement zur Partie bitte.
Ja, vielen Dank erstmal für die Glückwünsche, Kies. Ja, uns war es einfach wichtig, heute eine Reaktion zu zeigen. Und das haben wir
Congratulations
gemacht,
for Kees.
in allererster Linie für die Fans.
Oh, thanks for congratulations.
Das war einfach was wir nicht so stehen lassen wollten. Deswegen war uns das als Mannschaft, als Trainerteam einfach immens wichtig. Und da gilt auch erst nochmal ein großer Dank an die Fans. Ich denke, es ist nicht gewöhnlich, nach so einem Auswärtsspiel, was wir hatten letzte Woche, so eine tolle Kulisse und so eine tolle Unterstützung jetzt hier zu bekommen. Und deswegen gilt da ein großer Dank an unsere Fans. Ja, man sieht, wenn wir unsere Art und Weise, Fußball zu spielen, halt über 90 Minuten durchbringen, können wir jeden ärgern, wir können jeden wehtun. Das haben wir heute auch wieder geschafft, mit einer Leistung, mit viel Intensität, mit einer hohen Zweikampfbereitschaft, mit einer hohen Laufbereitschaft. Einfach auch eine geschlossene mannschaftliche Leistung, so wie wir hier aufgetreten sind. Und ich denke, das muss einfach das Maß sein, was wir konservieren müssen, was wir einfach jetzt auch in die letzten Spiele reinwerfen müssen, egal ob heim oder auswärts. Das ist das, was uns auszeichnet, das ist das, was uns stark macht, und da ist im Endeffekt dann egal, wer auf dem Platz steht. Auch die heute nicht drauf waren, auch nochmal da an die Jungs einfach, wie sie mitgewirkt haben, wie sie ihre Rolle angenommen haben, auch um die Mannschaft drumherum, ist das, was ein
So far, everything the manager said that they were happy that they've done. Keith Van Monderen said this is how they're going to play. Like he knew how they were going to play, and we didn't live up to it. We didn't live up to it. Let me see if Keith's got any questions for him. Here we go.
Watz aus dem Ruhrgebiet, Kees. Das war jetzt zum zweiten Mal hintereinander eine Halbzeit, also eine erste Halbzeit, über die Juri Möller draußen gesagt hat, die war Schalke 04 unwürdig. Wie erklärst du dir das, dass es nochmal passiert ist?
Ja, manche Sachen sind nicht zu erklären. Es war, wie gesagt, ein enttäuschender Tag von allen von uns. Und dann fange ich mal erstmal mit mir selbst an. Ich bereite die Spiele vor, ich wähle die erste Elf. So, da kann ich erstmal zu mir selbst schauen. Ich habe dann sie nicht richtig vorbereitet auf das, was auf die Zukunft hier. Und wir haben davor gesprochen über was das ist. Ja, das ist alles nicht so leicht. Die haben, wenn du die Ergebnisse siehst hier, die holen die, ich glaube, nur alle Punkte hier zu Hause mit einer bestimmten Spielweise. Da musst du vorbereitet sein. Und das waren wir nicht. So. Dann bekommst du so eine Leistung.
If that doesn't look like a defeated man, I don't know what does. I mean, yeah, Andy Vaz does smell blood, but he looks defeated. He looks completely defeated here. I mean, you're gonna have to monitor this because, like, anytime a manager in history looks this defeated, he doesn't last very long. And I'm sure people are gonna clamor for Tim Hooglin or Jakob Fimpel or something like that, but like, Van Vonderen looks defeated right here. I mean, he lost the team. I think that's kind of the facial expression he's giving me here.
Dann schaut so aus, es ist doch Gerd Otto von der Mittelbayerischen Zeitung noch.
Weil schon die Fans angesprochen worden sind von Ihrem Kollegen Andreas, was sagen Ihre Fans, die ja in großer Zahl hier den weiten Weg nach Bayern, nach Ostbayern gefunden haben? Was sagen die langfristig zu dieser Leistung, die Sie gerade skizziert haben?
Was die sagen, die sind natürlich sehr enttäuscht, wie allen, die unterstützen und die leben die Verein ein Leben lang. Die haben ein blaues Herz überall, wo du kommst, unterstützen die uns bis zu in gute Zeiten, aber auch in schlechte Zeiten. Und die sind natürlich enttäuscht, wie wir alle sind. Das ist komplett zu verstehen. Ja, wir wollen das nicht und wir müssen uns darauf eine Reaktion geben und das kann das nächste Mal, das ist das erste kommende Spiel.
Sie haben ja namhafte Spieler in Ihrem Kader und dennoch hat man das Gefühl, dass es keine Mannschaft ist. Ist der Eindruck falsch?
Now they're really poking the bear here. Like, I agree. He doesn't want to answer. It's clear by his face. He's like, you got to give him credit. He's standing up because he's standing up in front of the reporters here, despite how his team played. I think saying that the fans are disappointed is a massive understatement. Massive understatement.
True.
But not his fault.
Ja, das muss jeder für sich selbst analysieren. Ich bin gekommen in Oktober, dann war es 8 gespielt, 8. Wir sind von unten weg erstmal. Das haben wir mit guten Leistungen gemacht, aber auch mit schwachen Leistungen haben wir das gemacht. Jetzt stehen wir auf einem Platz. Wir sind immer noch nicht sicher, aber nahezu Klasse hat. Erstmal, nächster Schritt für den Verein ist, wie welcher Verein das ist. Das ist nicht ein zweiter Ligist, das ist ein Bundesligist. Und dafür sind die Leistungen nicht gut genug. Ja, das muss man auch ganz klar erkennen. Und dafür braucht es sehr viel Zeit und Umbauen von das, was gibt's.
Doesn't sound very confident in his team, does it? Doesn't.
Sicher.
Needs a reaction.
Und ich weiß auch, und ich glaube, du auch, weil du siehst aus, dass du sehr viel Erfahrung hast, dass dass man auch jedem Spiel eine gute Leistung bringen will. Jedes Spiel will man das Beste geben, aber das geht nicht immer. Das Gesicht von Regensburg letzte Woche und jetzt ist auch unterschiedlich. Ja, wollen Sie das nicht? Ist das nicht wichtig? Ja, natürlich ist das wichtig. Warum kommt es dann? Ja, warum kommt es dann? Wir sind Menschen und Menschen wollen das Beste geben, fühlen sich verantwortlich und dann, ja, das miteinander zu entwickeln, auch die Enttäuschungen hinnehmen und wir weitergehen. Das ist unser Fachbereich, wo wir sind.
Dann nochmal Andreas Ernst von der Watz.
Ja,
Und
Andy Ernst.
diesen gehen wir in die dritte Reihe.
Obwohl die erste Halbzeit nicht so gut war, hast
Ja,
du
das
nicht
ja.
ausgewechselt zur
Ja,
Pause.
das-
Warum nicht?
Nee, weil muss ich dann immer in Halbzeit auswechseln, wenn wir ein besseres Spiel machen können. Wir haben 90 Minuten, um auszuwechseln und das Moment, um das zu machen, das entscheide ich. Und ist das eine Halbzeit, ist es eine Halbzeit, ist es nach 60, 55, 70, das kann ich entscheiden und ich habe mir für das entschieden.
All right, that's it for the press conference there. But yeah, I mean everything you guys are saying in there is correct, right? Keese is fed up. We'll see a different Keese in the coming weeks. I think we have to if he wants to keep his job. We're gonna have to show more reaction. He's shown more reaction the last couple of weeks, but like he's clearly pissed off right now, and the team's clearly against him. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the team needs a more serious version of Keese, and Keese was pretty distinct in what he was saying, right? Like we need to have a reaction. We need to have a reaction this next game. And as Corrado says, the club deserves to be in the Bundesliga, but not this team they're playing on the field that are playing on the field. Yeah, but Wanderen's like basically calling out his team, as Ace Sigurner says right here, is like everybody has to look in the mirror. I did my job, and to a point, I think he's right. I don't think he's right. I know he's right. It's like, you know, Jack said at the beginning of the year, like this isn't a team that distills confidence in yourself in us right now. We have some playmakers, a couple of them here and there, right? Kahneman, Silla, Bullet, but like there was no heart in this game. None. And it's pathetic. It says, I think Keith changes after 65 minutes because players are not receiving notes. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Or ignoring him. Who knows? But yeah, it is something has to happen. This is not a good look. And we got a hell of a slate coming up against 5 excellent teams coming up. So I don't know. There were some reactions to the game, obviously, right? One of them being former Schalke player Ralph Fairman, who on Instagram just posted this picture of his jersey. That's something there. He's like, look at this, miss me? You guys miss me? But yeah, it's that's just the start of it. I'm not gonna say I side with him or not, but there's other comments as well. Van Vonderen, they asked him about Heckren, right? Felipe Sanchez, you know, he didn't back when, you know, his play, but Heckren's making a lot of mistakes, and his response to the Heckren comments is like, look, we don't need to talk about a goalkeeper change at all. Justin is a talented young goalkeeper who we have complete confidence in. Sometimes you have periods of good games, sometimes it's a bit more difficult, but he has to go through those. It's part of his development. I'll keep giving him the opportunity. I see what potential he has. Now, obviously you want to boost up your goalkeeper as best you can, no matter how you feel. But like, we'll get to one of the tweets here later. Like, someone made a tier list of Schalke's goalkeeper, and in 6th place was Heckren, according to this person. I mean, some people were clamoring for Michel Langer, right? Worst Fairman doing these days. He's not gonna go there, but I mean, it's like, what's gonna go? Yes, Raul is the real number one. I agree. So it's a tricky situation because like you want him to say put in someone else, but like, is Michel Langer really better? I mean, I like Michel Langer, but I'm saying, is he like really better? Is it gonna be better for Heckren's development if he doesn't get more games, I think, you know, give him one more game, see if he reacts like to the rest of the team. Are they going to react? And if not, then make a change. But, like, I get back in your goalkeeper, but, like, change might have to happen. Can we go to Kanapashmina and get some of them there? Oh, my goodness. All right. What else? Keenan Karaman. Now, this is from Build, so take it with a grain of salt, but says, we've apologized to our fans too many times this season. I don't even know if fans are still getting through to us. I can totally understand them. You know, Asynchronous said, you know, he's clearly fed up with the team. It's not just about winning. It's about the mentality, the passion you bring to the pitch. And there was none of that. Exactly. Those in charge must analyze the season thoroughly, and the team must be strengthened. Each individual must be aware of the club they play for and what their individual aspirations are. Of course, I'll tell you those in charge my opinion. I'm tired of playing seasons like this all the time. That's not why I signed a long-term contract. I don't want to be stuck at the bottom all the time. I made that clear to those in charge, and I'll continue to express my opinion. So, going back to Asynchronous or Kororo said, like, Karma's going to leave. If you don't show that you want to change for the better, he's going to go. He's going to walk, and it's going to be unfortunate because he's been like the linchpin for us for the last 2-3 seasons. Right? It says, Heckard is not the youngest anymore. Isn't he like 27? No, I think he's young. Oh yeah, 24. He's 24. He's young. He's a young guy. Let's see. Manga bought Karius, and he caused a problem. Again, yes, Manga causing problems again. Heckard was picked by Karel, Fimple, and McKees. Yep. Says, can you imagine Manga and Tillman evaluate that season with Keese? They're so lucky that Bauman came to save them. Yeah. No, yeah. Heckard is a young goalkeeper. Let's see what else. What other else? So memes are obviously going to pop up about the game, right? So you got the vodka, right? This little swig at the top. Yeah, you're a little lightheaded. You got half the bottle. Did they even love me? Drink the whole bottle. You're clamoring for Thomas Rice, right? We're all wallowing in pain here, so we're all drinking away our misery here. What else? Renee, good friend of the show, Renee says, I don't know, in almost 121 years in the club's history, we've never lost a league game against a worse opponent than Regensburg. And they deserve to win. Like, that's how bad we play bad. We play terrible. And we're talking about the goalkeeper situation. Omar says, here is a list of the best goalkeepers at Schalke. Karius, number 1. Karius again. Ralph Fairman, Michel Langer, and Justin Heckern at 5. And this game only strengthened that argument there. He said he could be up for himself there, but yeah. Carmen does the same as Keith did in the beginning of this assignment. He now went public in his message to Manga, and yeah, absolutely. All right. So this is Michaels, and he says he gives his player ratings for the game. All right.
Noten. Der FC Schalke 04 verliert gegen Jan Regensburg. Hier kommen meine Noten. Musasila 6.
Musasila 6, all right.
Kenan Karaman 6. Amin Younes 6. Mehmet Aydin 6. Paul Seguin 6. Barkok 6. Bulut 6. Donkor 6. Kaminski 6. Schallenberg 6. Justin Hekeren 7.
7 for Justin Hekeren? I don't know about that one right there.
Geste Wonderen, ich vermisse Karl Geratz. Das sind auch
I miss Carl Gerards. Didn't even give Keith Van Vonderen a rating. I mean, like I said, a lot of people are mad about Keith Van Vonderen, but it's like, as we're saying in the chat, it's the team. As Keenan Carmen said, it's the team. Do we know Bauman's mission? Not fully. We've heard glimpses and words what he wants. Wants to build a strong team, young team that doesn't cost a lot of money. Wants to have young coaches. And wants to get the Bundesliga as quick as possible, but not really. It's just been like a very vague mission that we've seen. We need to see an official, why are you here? What are you planning to do for us? And what's the time frame going to be? We saw when Tillman a couple years ago said, it's a 3-year plan. Maybe it was Axel Huffer, but we have a 3-year plan to get back to the Bundesliga. 2 years have completed. We're still mid-table in the Zweite Liga. Next year is a big year. So is Baumann going to be, let's get up right away, or what's it going to take? Now with Werder Bremen, they went down 1 year and came right back up. So can he do the same thing? He'll need to create some magic with Manga to get that happen, because right now this team ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It says we can only see what Ballman will do. We can't really tell yet, and we shouldn't judge too early about him. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that for sure. What was the proposition that he pitched? Didn't really have one, honestly. It was just all words, fluff, try to get us excited, but he hasn't provided much. He needs to come out with a statement, I think, for sure. No doubt about it. Some of the other comments that I saw around online, Michel Langer, just put him in. And then he didn't stop there. He said, Jakob Fimpel, bring him in. And the comments went on and on and on like this. But people are fed up. And something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. I don't, like you guys, I don't really necessarily blame Van Vonderen in this one. I think it's the players. Carmen said it himself, right? When you got the head coach and the captain saying that, it's telling you something. So I'm curious how this will go. The Hamburg game is coming up ahead. Hamburg's going to be fired up. They just had an embarrassing loss themselves at home. They're going to be fired up. They're going to give us their best game, and we need to have reaction as well. We need to have some kind of reaction. If we played like we did against Regensburg, against Hamburg, they're going to win 6-0. They're going to win 6-0. It's going to be the end of Van Vonderen if that's the case. This next game, is it home or away? Let me check this out here. Hold on one second. All right, let's see. Next game is at home. So looking at the schedule up ahead for us, we got Hamburg at home on Saturday. It's the main game, make Topspiel. Hopefully ESPN Plus in the United States and DAZN in Canada. Then we got Kaiserslautern the following week. Paderborn, Dusseldorf, Elversberg. Gosh, that's a slate there. 5 tough teams. We need 3 points though. 3 draws. Or just hope the results underneath us go our way. But we're going to be backpedaling to the end of the season. It's unfortunate. We wanted, as Van Vonderen said a couple weeks ago, I think before the Ulm match, we want to end the season on a high and gives us some tough decisions to make for the summer. At this point, if we continue at this rate, it's going to be easy decisions. It's get rid of everyone except for 3-4 guys and start fresh. We'll see. Says he will create Schalke friends to finance players, outsource players. They will fail. Gonna spin. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for me. Rant over. Upset about what happened, obviously, as everyone else is. It just sucks. It's a sucky way to lose the weekend, lose a game. The only good thing was it happened at the end of the weekend, so we didn't have to wallow in it too much. Get back to the grind for us and the work, right? But we've seen this so many times this year, where good performance backed up by a bad performance. The consistency is not there. Some of it's the coach, some of it's the players, a lot of it's the players. A change needs to happen. We need to see a reaction, and I think you guys are right that Van Vonderen is going to be a different man here coming to the end of the season. So, because his job's on the line at this point. So, anyway, that's it for tonight. I am done. We'll do a stream later this week. Talk more Schalke news as it develops. Who knows? Maybe some changes happen between now and the weekend. But it'll be Friday night or Saturday. I'll probably do Friday night because the game's on Saturday. I'm going to aim for Friday night, I should say. Late in Germany for sure. So it'll be early morning, at least Saturday morning for you guys probably. But yeah, that's it. So wherever Jack is, he's not Chicagoland, but he's out West Coast. So you can follow him at JMMANGAN on Twitter. You can follow me at R_KHARMAN. More importantly, you can follow us at Schalke America all across social media. Join our Discord if you haven't already. If you're watching us or listening to us on Twitch or YouTube, make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and like the video. It would be much appreciated. Help the algorithm out, and share us with your friends. Please do. We'll catch you guys Friday if you're here for the stream, or next Monday. Hopefully not a Blues Monday, but to be determined. All right. Thank all you guys who are in the chat tonight. Love talking to you guys, helping get the podcast go through, and we'll catch you guys. Enjoy the week. Glück auf.